The reason why a stadium like Nakivubo Stadium up to now is not really hosting those games, a lot of people are really thinking it's politics. But when Moses Magogo came out and talked about how they did not consult them, especially while they were constructing the stadium, a lot of people think that it's politics. But I looked at the categories of stadiums that CAF laid out in their rules of the games and regulations of how it's supposed to be hosting these games. And when you look at the menu, the stadiums are classified into four classes, which gives them the accreditation to host the games at level of CAF. The category 1 hosts women's FIFA Youth Football qualifiers. There's also women Champions League qualifiers, and we have one here, Njeru Technical Center and the KCC Stadium in Lugogo, which can host the games on that level. The category 2 stadiums, where we have Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, underage women African qualifiers, and final tournaments, CAF Champions League, Confederations Cup, and preliminary rounds. We have St. Mary's Jitende, in the home of Vipers, as one of the stadiums in that category. Then we also have category 3, which has group and quarterfinal games in the Champions League, as well as Confederations Cup, AFCON, as well as FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Women AFCON and Champions League final, and of course we will go to there. We have the stadiums also that can host, that is category 4. We have the AFCON as well as African Nation Championships, CHAN tournaments, which are held exclusive there. Semi-final and finals of the Champions League and Confederations Cups, the CAF Super Cup, that can also be, of course, another category that we can have stadiums in there. And of course, Nambole lies between those stadiums in there. So Nakivubo Stadium is reportedly, according to the features, because they are saying it's like in category 4, because according to the CAF regulation manual, a category 4 stadium must have a seating capacity of a minimum of 30,000 spectators, and Nakivubo Stadium has already 20,000 capacity, and you all know that it's going to be elevated according to the plan. It's going to be elevated to 35,000 in there. But one of the requirements it's missing for any category 4 stadium, it has to have 4 dressing rooms. That is for any given match. You remember in Ivory Coast, you had those stadium hosting games, and you have the teams that are playing, but you have the teams that are going to be playing the game after. So they need to have separate dressing rooms, not to wait for the other to get out and then you start cleaning them and reorganizing them. So that is one thing that Nakivubo Stadium is really lacking in there. It has only 2. Category 2, 3, and 4 stadiums are required to have a training facility adjacent to them, complete with a dressing room capable of accommodating at least 23 people. And of course, that training facility must be equipped with floodlights, 3 showers, 3 urinals, 2 toilets, and also security first area, which would ensure that the players are really safe. And Nakivubo Stadiums that does not even have, even in its plan, to have a training facility around there, because the space is not there according to things that are happening in there. So accessibility to the stadium, that is also an issue why I really think that Nakivubo Stadium failed to really meet the CAF test, because it is a little bit crumbled around there, and you all know that even getting into the stadium, these roads are small according to the standards that are needed. The parking is there, but you all know that the parking is not what really CAF really wants. They want a parking that is meters away from the stadium, not within the stadium, because the Nakivubo parking is within the stadium, underneath it and above, so it's not really qualifying into there. And you all know that Chisenyi has a busy market, and the way it's organized, it creates a little bit of a security threat in there. And of course, looking at a scenario where you have an African Cup of Nations game, you have massive people coming in, so there's a lot of threats that come in there, and we all know that that might be a problem in there. So there are so many reasons why Nakivubo stadiums that do not really meet the standards that are required by CAF, and that is the reason why it really wasn't passed, and it's not going to be passed anytime from now. So that is why I really think that while we are doing this, while we are trying to make our infrastructure a little bit better, we need these people that are dealing, especially that are putting in the money, to consult FUFA as an entity that really governs the game in the country. There are a lot of things that I can really say in there, but even the surface itself, you remember the surface is an AstroTurf, and there is not any major tournament that has been hosted on an AstroTurf here in Africa. When you look at that, in fact, Nakivubo would be the number one to be, passed as an AstroTurf in there. The president was misled because I had him making statements of how we are going to be hosting African Cup of Nations there anytime soon, which is not a possibility now. So there's a lot that is happening, and I think it's misguiding, and a little bit people really divert their anger to the wrong things. And I really wanted to come out and give a clear picture of really why Nakivubo Stadiums does not meet the standards, not the standards that are set by FIFA, but the standards that are set by CAF, a governing body that really comes in and does the inspection. So while you're constructing a stadium as a private individual, you need to really consult the governing body in Uganda, which understands and has a booklet of exactly what is supposed to be done. In fact, they're supposed to be part of the stakeholders because they do the inspection, the pre-inspection, they give the advice, and they have their technical people that really come in to really give a clearance of what really is happening in there. So that is the sole reason why we have Nakivubo Stadium not hosting those games in there.